For decades, the Surfrider Foundation has been fighting for a healthy planet. Our seas are rising and becoming more acidic, our beaches are disappearing, our coastlines are drowning in plastic, and our waterways are polluted with harmful chemicals and sewage. We must take action now and hold our elected officials accountable to push change forward. Together, our collective voices and actions will help drive vital laws and policies to keep our ocean waves and beaches healthy and protected for future generations to come. This year, for Coastal Rec Hill Day, even though we're going virtual, we're really excited because we've got over 200 volunteers, staff, and supporters showing up in Washington, D.C. to meet with over 100 of their representatives and talk about 3 federal priorities: climate action, plastic pollution, and clean water. We've got one goal: clean water and healthy beaches for all people to enjoy.
Hello, Congressman Kilmer.
Hooray, success.
Hey, how you doing?
Briefly, this is our annual Hill Day. It's our 5th one. Presently, we have 160 people representing 78 chapters across the nation.
The Washington chapters of the Surfrider Foundation.
Well, I'm Jenny Romer. I'm a legal associate at the Surfrider Foundation's Plastic Pollution Initiative.
I'm Dr. Natalie Hubbard.
I'm Alex Vai.
It's Tabby.
Bob Picorni.
It's Olivia.
Zanupa Asokan.
I am a volunteer with
Chair of
Treasurer of
Rise Above Plastics program.
I'm a volunteer with
a board member of the Surfrider Foundation.
And we're going to have about 160 meetings with congressional and Senate offices. So we're so grateful that you are here present personally with us.
This is actually a really important time for me to hear from you about what you think is on the agenda. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you all have. Why don't you give me some ideas of stuff to work on?
Great.
And then we can talk afterward about, if we've made any progress, if we can tell you anything.
So really quickly, we've got 3 things to touch on today, and they're water quality, some of the legislation around that, plastics in the ocean, and plastic marine debris, and we'll talk about that for a little bit, and then also climate change and some of the implications that has with some of the legislation that's upcoming.
We here on Lake Superior are really focused on water quality.
Plastic pollution.
climate change.
What we are really interested in doing is reminding them in a whole sea of important problems that they're trying to solve, that these are critical issues that deserve their attention. And then also to point out the specific pieces of legislation that we strongly believe will best advance that cause.
And the last thing I thought I'd end up doing is volunteer for Surfrider and speak in front of a congressman. So here I am. And talk about climate change. I'm seeing the negative effects of climate change. And while it's really easy to point the finger at developing countries with their recent increase in CO2 emissions, the US still remains one of the top contributors when viewed at a per capita level.
I'm basically here to talk about what we see when we bring volunteers out to our beaches. And, the primarily thing to be cleaned up is plastic, primarily single-use plastic products, such as utensils, cups, lids, bottle straws. We also get a lot of polystyrene, which more commonly known as styrofoam, out on our beaches, particularly after it rains. Actually, after this past year, you can also now find gloves, masks. You can find to-go bags and boxes from restaurants as well.
I spend numerous hours a week with the Blue Water Task Force monitoring water quality across the county. Here in San Diego, we know that our stormwater urban runoff is not captured and treated before it runs back into the ocean. And on top of that, 50 million gallons of raw sewage a day washes up from Mexico. And so that not only pollutes our water, but also our air. And of course, that affects the wildlife and the natural habitat here. But this also deprives our border communities of recreational and economic opportunity. So for example, last year, our border beaches were closed for nearly 300 days. So there will likely be a Beach Act funding request letter circulating in the House and Senate this month or next. Would you be willing to sign this letter?
Yes, of course. And, Jess, there's a lot more that we're working on.
So the direct ask, of course, is to support the $100 billion over 10 years.
Asking for your support on an ocean climate solutions legislation.
Breakthrough from Plastic Act.
We are with you on both of those priorities. And I would just also add, our hope is that there's an infrastructure bill that will broadly define infrastructure, not just as roads and bridges, but also to deal with stormwater and wastewater.
Yes, give us more information and we love to look at it. And environmental issue is very, very important. You know what, I'm doing my part and I'm doing whatever I can. And it's little things, but you know what, those little things make the difference.
Thank you, Alex. Well, we have to obviously figure out our strategy to get the bill moving, I would recommend, that we think through, how we actually get this across the finish line.
These are really hard problems, and getting it right will take a lot of good heads.
They need your input, because a lot of times you're sitting at the desk, you really don't know unless you tell them that exactly what has to be done. So just let us know and let me know. I'll do it together with you guys.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Michelle,
Thank you
congratulations.
so much.
Thank
Look
you
forward
so
to
much.
talking more.
Thank you. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Everybody, take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Karen.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in person next year.
Thank you so much.
I think we need to be honest. Change is not easy. Change is not fast. But there are a lot of people on Capitol Hill who we've met and we had the chance to talk to, who we know are on our side when it comes to trying to protect the environment, protecting clean water, stopping plastic pollution, fighting climate change.
It allows us to educate them on those things which are passionate to us as their constituents. And it also allows them to educate us on where they stand on these issues. And what's really the most beautiful thing was seeing the alignment and really feeling proud about the people that we've elected to represent us.
Together, we can work to slow the effects of climate change, stop the flow of plastics into our environment, and keep our waters clean and healthy. You have the power to affect change locally and nationally, and we encourage you to engage with your elected officials, get involved with your local Surfrider chapter, and be part of the positive change that our planet so desperately needs.